Progress.
What up? What up? What up? How's everybody doing?
Good, good.
Good, man. Nice to see you in here. The main man. Yeah, we'll start up, guys, in, I don't know, 5-10 minutes. Let's just get this room filled up. Let everybody know what's up. They want to come in here and learn about wraps, how to find wrap buyers. I know I talk a lot about wraps, so if you guys are interested going more in depth than we already do, we're gonna do that here today with Christian. So yeah, boy.
Oh, hold on. I thought I had my video turned on.
What's up, Sarah? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Nice seeing you in here. What's up, Abraham? And is it Hui? Is that how you say it? Hui Huang? Huang? I'm probably saying it fucked up, right? Saying it wrong.
That was literally me though. Like, I stopped. I should have kept working because I could have kept working, but I basically.
Not sure if you were talking to us, Mika. Well, what's up, everybody else? While we wait for some people in here, I just want to say what's up. If you guys would like, if you guys are not driving, I like to see people's faces. So if you guys can try on your cameras. Just want to say hi to everybody, Chris and Elizabeth. What's up, Lewis and Darren? What up, Gabriel and Carlos out there, and Anna and Francisco. It's nice seeing everybody in here. So I see some new faces in here.
What's going on, Carlos?
Not much, brother. How's your day going?
It's good. I'm just trying to keep my dogs quiet. They're just barking like crazy.
That's right. I do mine too. I have like 3 French bulldogs in my office right now, and then I have the alpha on the other side of the office. And so, you know, from time to time, they'll come in and bark at each other and whatnot. Hi, at work. That's right, man. You're at work, Chris. That's it right there. He doesn't even want to be there. He wants to be signed off and listen to this fire ass Zoom we're about to put out right now. It's gonna be great. Especially because I love raps. Yeah. Guys, what's up? What's up? What's up? Mika, Marcus.
What's going on, Carlos?
What up? You guys stoked or what?
What up, Los? What
Hey.
up, Christian? Hey,
What's up,
happy
what's up?
belated birthday.
Who, Christian?
Oh, me? What's up, man?
Yeah, Christian, but Christian's a little
Oh, his
busy.
birthday.
Happy belated B-Day, bro.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, man. That's right. Did you have a good time, bro?
Me?
Yeah, I'm sure you work. It was like almost like a normal day. You probably worked, probably closed some deals or something, and then you probably had some dinner or some drinks or something at night.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Trickle down, trickle down. Monica, what's up? Eric, what's up? Christian,
Hello.
how are you? Ella,
What's up, Carlos?
what's up, yo? How's everything?
Good, good. What's going on with you? Happy to be here. Been wanting to learn about raps for a minute now.
Yeah,
Thanks for putting this together.
yeah, no problem. Thanks, Christian, for coming here. And I like raps too. I like learning about them. I like listening from other people, how they do their raps and how they structure them. So I enjoy it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Let's do this. We'll give it another 3-4 minutes and then we'll get Christian started. We'll have him introduce himself. We'll go over the topic and then we'll start diving deep and go over some golden nuggets for y'all. And then we'll do some Q&A, okay? Anybody who is going to have questions, we can interact throughout the actual call, the Zoom. So just if you have a question, either one, write it in the side chat or just raise your hand and we can answer as we go as well.
Gang, gang.
Gang. What's up, Mike?
What's going on, fool?
Not much, man. Ready to learn or what?
Always ready to learn, bro. Even when I've learned too much, I'm ready to learn.
Oh yeah, we got a professor today. He's gonna teach today. Teach the class. Class is about to be in session.
I've lost sleep waiting for this day.
I didn't even sleep just to make sure I didn't miss it.
Bro got like 4 creative deals today, bro.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy,
Christian.
man.
Killing it.
Yeah, dude. It's like I expect to probably see a contract like every time I see his Instagram up. I'm like,
Every
if I click
time,
on
bro.
if I click on this shit, I'm sure there's like a HUD statement behind this shit. Or like a PSA or something. It's
Uh-huh. Or maybe like 4.
yeah.
Looking for a rap buyer. Yeah, bro. I know who to go to for sure. Between you and Christian, bro, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap. Yeah, and I'm still getting
Literally.
I'm still learning it. You know, I'm doing it for like 4 months now and stuff. You know, I like learning and hearing it from other people. I had broke down a rap to somebody for like some partner was gonna come in for equity and he was breaking down how he likes to split his notes a little bit differently. And I was like, oh, I never heard or had to borrow against your own note. So like I'm still like super new to a lot of stuff. So I love hearing it, especially that strategy, because to me, I like it a lot. And it's fairly easy to do once you understand the concept. But why I like it most is the liability. It's like very little to like none. And
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
if you're new and stuff, you know, and you're working and if you don't have property in a certain market, typically you have all these expenses and headaches, and you know, if your property manager can deal with some of that stuff, but easier for me to just, you know, have no liability while I'm still learning the majority of the stuff. And then I do have a couple long-term rentals and short terms, but yeah, I like the wraps a lot.
Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting one right here.
Yeah. All right, we'll get started. So let me go ahead. Boom. All right, Christian, what's up, my man?
What's up, everybody?
Not much, guys. So this is Christian Hernandez. He's an investor. He's a student in sub 2. I'm not too sure. Christian, are you in any other mentorships or were you in any other?
No.
All right, cool. He just jumped into like the right program. I'm not sure. I think he's been there like a year and a half, 2 years now. He's an investor. When I had first jumped in, I had met Christian. It was real nice. Really, he always responded to me real quick. Sometimes I respond to you guys late, so I need to work on that. But yeah, Christian was real cool. He helped me out. He was actually one of the first people that took time to answer my calls and help me underwrite and call some these sellers. And so, you know, I got to learn from him. I got some mentorship from him, which was cool. Let me see who I'm going to mute real quick. All right, guys. Yeah, so Christian was a big help for me in the beginning when I started learning, and then as I started to progress and started learning how to ask these questions myself, obviously I started to take my own route. But yeah, Christian's in the house. He's going to be going over who he is, how he got started, when he got started, and where he's at now. Then he's going to get into the topic of what is a wraparound mortgage. I know some of you are familiar because I speak about it, but he's going to go into depth about what it is, and as well as how to find a wrap buyer. All right, guys. So with that, Christian, what's up, man? And let us know who you are, man.
What's up, guys? He said my name is Christian. I'm here in Southern California. I've been part of Pace's mentorship for like 2.5 years. Before that, I was already wholesaling, but I wasn't doing too good. I was struggling to get a deal here and there. But it's been pretty good for me since the past year. I've been able to close a lot of creative financing deals, a lot of wholesale deals, and I've been able to get myself a lot of cash flow, and a lot of this cash flow I got it through buying the property subject to and selling them as wraps. So that's what I'm going to talk about. How basically after I already got the property subject to, how I was able to wrap it, how I was able to find the buyer, how I was able to qualify the buyer, and all that sort of thing. Now, if you guys don't know, if there's some people that are not gonna know what a wrap is. Basically, in a wrap, you buy a property with that's already got a loan on it, or maybe it's seller finance, maybe maybe it's subject to. But let's say the note is a note that's at 2%, 3%. When you sell it out to somebody else, you don't have to sell it at the same rate. You can increase the rate up, and the difference between that rate that the bank takes and everything that the bank takes and the rate that you sold it at, you get every month. There's a lot of benefit. You don't always have to keep the notes, if you don't want to. You could always sell the notes. I'm going to talk a little bit about that too. But yeah, I'll get started. Is it okay if I share my screen?
Yeah, let me go ahead and give you access to share the screen.
Let's see.
There you go. Ready to rock.
So when there's a few ways to market the wrap, right? There's some paid ways and there's some free ways, right? The simple paid ways, is your Redfin, Zillow, Realtor.com, that sort of stuff, right? When you log in here, right, this is the view. This is actually one that I sold in the past. Right, this is like one of my first ones. Actually, this is like the first one I did. And a lot of things went wrong with it, but I was able to get it across the finish line. You see this closing date? This thing was supposed to close months ago. Like, we were in escrow for like a year. But
So what happened
then
with this deal? You bought it subject to?
I bought it subject to,
Okay.
and I bought it subject to, and I found a wrap buyer. I didn't do a good job on qualifying this buyer. And then when it came down to closing, he didn't have all the money at once. He asked me to wait for him a few weeks. The weeks turned to months. And that's why, that's when that was a big, eye opener for me to qualify for the wrap buyers better, because I was really scared every time that, like, oh man, this guy is not gonna go through with it. So that's
So
kind of why I
basically,
chose
he was
this one.
just making payments and he
He-
wasn't able to make that down payment just yet.
Exactly. We were leasing the house to him. We were leasing the house to him until he closed. And so he was making the payment every month barely. And then, it just took a long time.
Oh, I did that with like my first deal. It still hasn't
Yeah.
closed.
Yeah. So
Man.
that's kind of what that was one of the eye openers for me, that you need to do a really good job of qualifying your buyers and that sort of thing, and seeing they have stable income, and seeing, that you know, that they can really make it. They could really keep it because it's a big commitment.
Okay. So real
So
quick, Christian, real quick. So everybody, you understand what a wrap is, correct? We broke it down. Basically, it's very simple. It's essentially most of the time you're going to buy it on creative finance, buy it on seller finance or subject to. You turn around and you sell it on creative finance. Wrapping around, you wrap an additional you wrap your existing mortgage around then another mortgage that you're going to create, and then you sell it. And so the goal is now, how do you find the wrap buyer? How do you find that person who's going to come in here and move in here so we can actually perform on this the right way, right? So Christian, in this scenario, he had purchased this property subject to one of his first properties that he had wrapped, and he's going to show you how he's marketing it, right? He showed you on Zillow how easy it was for him to put seller financing available. And then that's kind of where we are. Just want everybody to know if if you guys weren't just jumped in or whatnot, just catching you up to going over just what a wrap was real quick. This is his first wrap that he had sold and how he didn't get the best wrap buyer in there. And now he's going to show us moving forward how to vet them and screen them better.
yeah, so just so you guys know, for this stuff, it's really easy to claim these and edit them that this is your listing. So this doesn't cost you any money, right? If you're gonna list it through Zillow, it's not gonna cost you any money. All these websites that you see here, Redfin, Realtor.com, is the same thing, right? You can claim the property and you could just edit what it's gonna say there, and that's free. That's one of the free ways of doing it. The downside, there's gonna be a lot of agents that are gonna be calling you to list the house. There's gonna be a lot of agents calling you, but you can't avoid that.
Can you turn off Jack's mic real quick because you have the host? Everybody, please go on mute. I should have muted it. Yo, Jack, put yourself on mute. I think you could do it, Christian.
Oh, I don't know how to do it.
You just go over his name, go to the little 3 dots, click on it, and just put mute. Or go over his name and it'll say mute, I think, on it. I think we're good now. Everybody mute. All right, cool.
The other way that is free is right here on Craigslist, right? You can make a post. The ones with Craigslist, you might have to try a few different times and you might have to keep some words out, because if you add, for example, if you add bad credit okay right here, they will take it down, because there's just different words and different things that they don't allow. So that's what's it's hard to keep an ad up here unless you really tweak this and you keep certain ones out of there. But this is another way you can post it, right? So you go on wherever it is, real estate for sale. Now this method, I'll tell you, this one kind of became the least effective right here. I still do it just because I'm paranoid and I want to make sure that I'm everywhere. And I got like 2 inquiries out of this one, but this is still this is not mine. But this is how you do it. You go here, real estate by owner, post, housing offered. And here you go, right? That's how you make the ad. So that's another free way of marketing it. And then there's Facebook Marketplace, right? So for Facebook Marketplace, it looks something like this. I'd say that this is one of the most effective between Zillow and this is like the most effective. And there's different things that you can do with Facebook. So for example, this is when I was marketing the same one, the same wrap that I showed you guys over here. Navajo Road. So this was the same. So this was this one. This is how I sold it, right? I had this one on the market. I wanted to sell it conventionally, and everybody was offering me around 400 and 380. So when I bought the house, and this was when the market shifted and stuff like that, the ARV of this house was like 460. So, you know, I was gonna, this was the least I was willing to sell it for, 440. So what I ended up doing so I could get what I needed, I ended up, you know, marketing. This was like 45 days after I already had it listed conventionally. I decided to list it as a wrap. And as you guys could see here, that was the ad, that was on the MLS. This one was on the MLS. So that's how I changed that verbiage on the MLS. When you do it on the MLS, it's gonna change it on all the websites, on all the free websites, right? So that makes it easier. So, you know, I'll get to that afterwards, but this is an option that you have, right? You can list it here. Let's see. For this, the way that you're supposed to do it, right? You join all of the local groups for that area, right? All of the local groups for that area that are maybe like Craigslist groups and stuff like that. And it's gonna show up. It's gonna show up every time people are scrolling and that sort of thing. I sold a few of them like this. I sold cash deals like this as well. As you could see, I'm in all the local groups for this area. And basically when you click here, that's how you add them, right? So as you can see here, this one post was shared on all of these local ones. So that's one of the things that you have to do. Let's say you get a deal in San Bernardino, you might join all the local groups in San Bernardino and create a post like that one. Let me go back to it so I can make some pointers. Where was this one?
All right, cool. We got a couple questions. You mind if you answer them, Christian?
Sure.
Cool. So I see Jay and 20, you guys got some questions, right? So who was first? I didn't see the hand go up. Was it? All right, let's just go with Jay. It looks like yours is first.
Can you hear me?
Jay, you there?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. Sorry, I'm at work. I'm still trying to hear Christian. So Christian, do you also walk you through how you wrap it in regards to how you run your numbers? Would that be could you show that as well? That's my only question. Sorry about that.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll go right here. Hold on a second. Yeah, I'll get to this right here. I'll show you this one as an example. I'll log into this.
Okay, cool.
I'll show you a bank statement.
Okay, cool. So while you do that, 20, what's up, man? You got a question?
Yeah. First off, thank y'all for putting this on. But only thing I really wanted to know is I just wanted to kind of see an example of what you're posting. I know you mentioned that there's some keywords that'll be taken down, and you did show us a few of the listings, but it was a little quick, you know, for us to be able to really kind of take a look at it and see what it is that we could do.
Which one do you want to
So,
see? The Craigslist or Zillow? Which one?
You know what? I'll tell you what will be good. Just maybe if you could kind of show us something that would be pretty much good on any site, that would be pretty neutral. Because I know that a lot of them with certain keywords, the other sites are gonna, you know, outlaw those kind of keywords as well. So, and I'm not asking to really.
Facebook doesn't really do that, right? As much as Craigslist does, Facebook doesn't really do that. So on here, you could really add whatever you like. And what I end up adding on here, I end up adding stuff so that people, you know, kind of bet themselves out. So the reason why the first picture here says 60 down payment, you know, is so that they don't, you know, that they could see that and they could, you know, immediately say, you know what, I don't have 60. And they don't click on it. They don't ask me if I can rent it, that sort of thing. From my experience, every time I posted just the house, you started getting all these questions. Hey, will you rent it? Will you rent it to me? What if, you know, how much do you want for it? Cash, you know, like this sort of stuff. So the way that I do it in here is not the same way that I do it on Zillow, right? and on Zillow people it's mostly agents and stuff like that. But I'll show you this. This is the one that I always use for Facebook. I just edit this out right here. You know,
Yeah.
I added this. You know, a lot of times people will will say that it's a scam or something like that. So after I added this, that kind of went away. You know, nobody ever said, and if they ever bring it up, I just say, look, it says right there, you can reach out to your own attorney and do it that way. And look, this is the same ad. This is the same ad for this house,
Yeah.
but on Zillow. On Dre?
That wasn't me. I don't know who that is.
This was the Zillow one. So this was the option. This was the portion right here that was talking. I wanted to.
Yeah. So if you could do us a favor, because I think other people in the crowd has the same question. If you could maybe just copy and paste that into the chat, because people want not that we're trying to take what you're doing, but and use it as a template or something. But we want to be able to kind of manipulate it a little bit with some of our own words. But I like your structure, is what I'm saying. I want to get your structure.
Okay. Yeah, I'll put the link in the comments.
I appreciate that, man. And I think that's gonna be it for me. That's the only questions I have. I'll be quiet until the next time.
I'll put some links in here. I'll give you guys that Word document with all the links actually. That's what I'll do.
This is recorded as well. Just to let you know. Everything's recorded. Cool. So we
Now-
got we'll put that in there. We'll go ahead and copy that over.
Esta fue Jessica. Hey, mommy.
Everybody on mute, please. Unless you have a question, we ask you to jump up and ask.
All right, I got a question, but
Okay.
yo, Christian, it's Mike. What's up, man?
What's up? What's up, man?
What's going on, dude? Yo, I was reading your post right there. Where when underwriting some wraps, and I don't know if you already went over because I jumped in maybe like 20 minutes into the call. The term of the agreement, right? So some of the wraps that we're underwriting over here, we're doing, like a 10-year term or something like, I'm sorry, like a 6-year term, but like the balloon payment comes up in like 10 years, 7 years, 5 years. Have you had any issues with the end buyers and the balloon payments? Like, I'm kind of like thinking ahead, like when that balloon comes, what ends up happening there? What's been your experience?
I haven't had to balloon anybody out.
Mm-hmm.
But I could tell you some people definitely are gonna get foreclosed on. I reach out to foreclosures every day, and I know I pick up some of them that they bought the house at 11% interest, and now they're getting foreclosed on. And sometimes I find I'm like trying to figure out why is they getting foreclosed on, they get behind on payments or something like that. And really it's just the fact that they can't qualify for a loan and they can't balloon it out.
Okay. Yeah, because I know Pace talks about, that he'll sell a house to, an individual, like a contractor with no papers, right? So that's one of the things that kind of, I was thinking in my head, like, well, when the balloon payment comes up, what's, thinking about that individual right there, because you want to make it a win-win for, your end buyer, for yourself and, the seller. But it's just one of those thoughts I'm trying to wrap my head around, like when that time comes, but.
Yeah, and and I've seen, like I said, I've seen it, and I don't always do balloon. I've done some without balloons. But for me, I don't know. Sometimes if it doesn't make sense, I won't do it. If I don't think that they're gonna be able to balloon it out, I don't put the balloon.
Gotcha. And what's
I'm
been your average your average terms? Are you like locking these up like with 10-year balloons, 15, or what are the sellers that like fight you on? What's a good years that they're okay with?
I never get a balloon.
No. Oh wow.
I don't like the balloon, so I don't have any that I've had a balloon. If I sell it on a balloon,
What a
it's
gangster,
because-
huh?
Yeah, bro, that's one of the biggest objections we come across, where it's like, well, I want to be paid out in 3 years or 5 years or 7 years, and it's like, we
You
can
know,
structure it that way.
it comes to it also a lot of times, for example, if I'm reaching out to the foreclosures, right?
Mhm.
It becomes about they say this, okay, what if I want to buy another house? Okay, let's say that I don't buy subject to it all. Let's say that I don't agree to your balloon and I don't buy subject to. How do you buy a house in a year, in 2 years, in 3 years, in 4 years? You get foreclosed on,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Okay.
So you have a better chance at getting another loan if this is up current and that it's making the payments than if you have a foreclosure on your record.
That's
So
a that's a master objection handling right there.
He's problem solving. It's the truth.
Yeah,
It's
man.
foreseeing the future, right? Hey, hey, Mr. Seller, let's project this, right? If you do that, I mean, yeah, sure. But the reality is, if this doesn't go through, I don't buy this and it goes into foreclosure, who the hell's going to finance you over the next 7 years? Which banks are going to work with you, right?
Very
yeah,
true.
If you keep it current, I mean, there are people who can go and get, one type of traditional or conventional loan and then go and turn around and get a different loan. That's it. It happens all the damn time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I guess to avoid the balloon, just make sure they have enough pain, I guess.
I think so.
Okay.
Like the ones I have no balloons on, I have three that were foreclosure is no balloons, and then I have one that is it's a hybrid deal that has no balloon. But the other ones I have balloons, and a couple of them are like 10 years, and one's like less than that.
Yeah, well,
But
sounds great.
I think that the no balloon ones are easier, obviously, when they're in like foreclosure because you're helping them out and you're taking it over, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and buy the subject to and write out the mortgage, right? Like, hey, I'm just gonna
Mhm.
write it out. So if he's calling, for foreclosures every day, he's probably picking those
That's
up.
it. That's it. That's all. That's what I'm
That
doing.
Okay.
I like it. I like it.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, because I hate
Cool.
balloons too, man. Might as well just hold it the whole time because Pace Morby is gonna, like same thing, Mike. Like, hey, what if Pace is, selling this to somebody without papers? How is he ballooning them out? He's not ballooning them out. He's
Yeah.
holding that for the 30-year note. He's not ballooning them.
All right. There it is.
And
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
if
'Cause
the
we're
seller
doing a
decides
lot of
to
these.
walk away, if the
Uh-huh.
seller decides he doesn't want it anymore, because there's a contingency that's probably says you can't balloon me out in there. But if the seller wants to walk away, he's going to be the one that lost because Pace is going to keep the house. You get me? That's what
Yeah.
that's probably just in my head thinking, like, I understand what you're coming from too, thinking that, like, hey, but I don't I think that he's probably just holding it,
All right. Cool. Yeah, because we've been coming across that objection, but it's been not for the pre-foreclosures. It's on market. They've been on there for a while. So we get to pitching terms and they're all for it, but then they want that balloon. And I'm trying to think, but the pre-foreclosure, I say that's the best scenario for that situation.
Good stuff. Good
What do
stuff.
they
All right,
want a
cool.
balloon? Because they want a lump sum or they want to free up their credit?
Free up the credit. They're looking to buy another property, things of that sort. And then there's just not the pain. Like when we ask for the pain, it's just not there.
Okay. Yeah.
There's no ticking time bomb of an auction date. You know what I mean? It's just
And
like,
sometimes we give in too quick too.
Yeah.
There's like, oh, I'll do it if it's a 3-year balloon. And you really want the deal. You really want the deal. But if they kept it on the MLS maybe another 2 weeks, they wouldn't sell it still. So maybe by then they'll feel more plain. But people, sometimes, they just want to jump on it. They're like, no, that's it. I'm just screw it. See what happens.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's true. Cool, man. Well, thank you guys for the answer. That's all I got.
Sure. So we have one more question and then we'll have Christian move forward on this. So Raymond, what's up? What question do you have, buddy?
On the Facebook ads, I keep on getting kicked out. I got a wrap on there. I guess we've already got the template or something. I would like to use your wording because I'm having a heck of a time.
Which ads are you getting kicked out? Are you getting kicked out? Because this is one thing, right? You could do when you post it on here and you do the boost. That's one thing.
Right. That's where I'm getting kicked out of is the ads. The boost.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. Yeah, because this is what I was gonna say about the Facebook, Facebook ads. If you do this, I like to do this over the weekend. I don't even add a lot of money, but I might add like $4 to $6 for 3 days. And this is what they see.
Okay,
Right. But yeah, this is my wording. I'll send you this ad. I'll send you a copy of this link.
thank you.
Because there's another way of doing it. I'm trying to find the ad that I had for that house. Because you could also run Facebook ads, regular Facebook ads to
Mhm.
people that are browsing Zillow and realtor.com and all those websites.
How do you narrow it down? So like I had like, I don't know, out of all the amount that I had, I only had like 10 or 13 people that looked in Colorado, but I had the rest of the country all looking at my at it. Is there a way to keep it geographic?
On the booths, on these ones?
No, on running your ad campaign.
Yeah, there's a way. There's hold on, I'll bring it
Okay.
up right now. Let me see if I'll find it.
Campaign geographic location.
I believe it's on the ad set level, Christian, for targeting pin
Yeah,
drop.
Targeting pin drop. Thank you.
yeah, that's exactly what it is. I'm trying to find, oh, here you go, maybe here.
Another quick question. Do you guys double closing? So like, are you finding your buyer before you close on it?
Sometimes that's the best case scenario.
No, but sometimes it doesn't happen. You just
Sometimes
do
it doesn't
because-
happen.
Okay.
So for example, for this one I had in Houston,
Mhm.
I had, my agreement was 8,500 to the seller. There was another wholesaler involved. He wanted 5. And then I told the wholesaler, I was like, hey, look, I'll pay the 8,500 and then we stick it out. And when I find the wrap buyer, you'll get paid more. And he's like, no, I need to get paid something right now. Just close it out. I was like, all right. I gave him 5,000. And then really after I ended up getting a private money lender, and the private money lender helped me close on it. Right. And then I took my time on this and I started listing it everywhere. And I ended up finding somebody to give me 30,000 down. So I ended up being able to pay back the money lender,
So-
split some with the money lender.
Do you double close on that? So do you close again?
No, not that one. That one was 2 transactions.
Okay.
Because where the mistake was, the wholesaler that got this under contract, that one I'm talking about, he got it under contract for 2 weeks, like a 2-week closing. You cannot find a wrap buyer that fast. Wrap buyers, are not like cash buyers. Wrap buyers go see the house and they're like, you know what? Let me talk to my wife. Then they come with the wife and then they're like, oh, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna think about it. So it's like 2 or 3 times, maybe a week before they make a decision versus a cash buyer. If the numbers make sense, they're gonna get it. So with that in consideration, you got to give your contract at least 45 to 60 days if you want to close it in one transaction.
Okay.
If not, what's the longest that you've held one, Christian, before you from when you had it under contract, closed, and then sold it to your wrap buyer?
The longest was 90 days, but it was supposed to be 60 days.
Yeah.
But the escrow officer lagged it for a month.
Okay.
And she wasn't like, I couldn't get a hold of her to save my life. She wasn't responding, so that took longer, but the contract was 2 months long.
Do your buyers ever ask for appraisals?
No,
No.
Not,
When
I
yeah.
had one I haven't found a wrap buyer for like a little over 90 days. It's like 3.5 months too. And it's it's because I'm being bold over here and I'm trying to get like 100 grand over what I locked it up for, which I've put like 5 other people in escrow. But when it comes down to putting the money down, they don't follow through. They end up going ghost. So I'm probably just gonna reduce it now. That's so much. I had so much interest on it at first.
Is that based off of your initial purchase? What you're listing it at?
Yeah, based off of my initial purchase, I bought it for 65. Market's like 140. It's just marketed at 165. I didn't do anything to it. Literally just bought it as is. and it's in like decent condition, right? Livable. That's the cool thing about wraps is like you don't have to get it market ready to sell it for market or over market price. You're really giving somebody the opportunity to have a house for themselves that couldn't get financing, right? So it's like, hey, somebody's willing to do this, right? Pay a little bit more, pay higher interest. People do it all the time in the car business. I mean, you buy cars, you make mistakes, you need something for your family or for work, you pay a little bit more. People are willing to do this, you know. So it's not hard. You just market it, dude. And we just have everybody who did like say, yeah, I'm open to this and I'm open to the money down and everything. They just didn't follow through. So I'm like, okay, well, you know what? Let's just start dropping the price now because we've had 5 people go into it, but just didn't want to put the money down. And that's just me being bold too. Like I could easily probably get a lot more people in there if I just marketed at market price. It's not even market ready too. So that's just me being a bold guy, right? But it's been there for like 3.5 months now. Yeah.
But
My
you-
payment is like $300 a month though. It's like no interest. It's like a $300 a month like payment to the seller anyways.
Mine's like 20.
These are all true reps that both of you guys are doing, or have you guys spun any off like as contract for deed? You guys hold title.
I haven't done that yet. These are full reps.
You know, I haven't done that, but that's what we should be doing.
I'm about to do that.
I just talked to somebody about that earlier today, Christian. I said, I think that I should be selling them on agreement for sale or land contract, depending on wherever you guys are. I think I should be doing that. I'll buy them on subject to seller finance, and then basically wrap it, but you know, keep my name on everything, leaving like land contract, I think.
You know, the only thing for me too, I'm doing a lot of deals in Texas, and in Texas you can't do that.
Yeah, I know.
No land contracts?
No land contracts.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I got one about subject to, and then I have another one that I just got on a lease option so that I don't have to pay the agent after they canceled the contract. They have like 2 months in there where they can get paid. And I don't want to pay them. And I told the seller with the money I was going to give her, you pay. And she didn't want it. And I said, all right, well, let's do this on a lease option for 6 months.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so then nobody's paying the agent. So during that time, all I need is just like the arrears, which is like $5,000. So I could find a wrap buyer in there that could probably be able to actually pay the down payment, which is like 20 grand at the end of it. So it's like cool. It's gonna be a cool deal, real easy deal.
My last question is, do you do wraps with VA loans?
Yeah. I haven't done one, but I would. The last VA loan I had, I just assigned it. And it was just a matter of time. I didn't have the time. I didn't want to put myself in a position to have to hold it for a while and do all that because it was remote. So I just assigned it.
Cool. Appreciate you guys. Thanks.
Cool. And okay, as I'm going here. Where's this one? Oh. Okay, now I was gonna talk about betting the people that come in. Oh, and another way of finding the wrap buyers, right? If it's calling up mortgage brokers. You know, they deal with people that are trying to get loans all the time. And in that option, you're gonna have to give them, you know, some sort of fee, but that is an option if you don't wanna go ahead and have you have the house marketed everywhere. You know, that might be an option. But be ready to pay them. So now let's say you find somebody and they like the house and stuff like that. If you sell more than depends on the state, right? But if you sell more than 4 wraps, you need to use an RMLO. So this is a good one where, you know, they fill in their information. I usually have them pay, right? And I let them know. So this is the way I do it. I say, okay, I make sure that they have the down payment. I make sure that they show me approval funds that they have the down payment. I've had it before where the guy's like, oh, you want to see approval funds? Let's go to my house. I have a bunch of cash. You know, he's like, should I take a picture with the cash? I've had that, but yeah, this is what they do, right? You go ahead. Yeah, I don't know what the heck he was doing. I don't know. That's none of my business. But
Okay.
So this is what I do. I tell them, hey, I make sure that they have the money for the down payment. I ask them, vaguely about what they do and that sort of thing, if like for a living and stuff like that. And then before I send them this, or even before I even bring this out, I ask them if they want to see the house. I show the house. And after they've seen the house and they like the house, then I tell them, okay, well, this is how it's gonna go. If you like the house, this is the application that you have to fill. It's 400. I don't remember how much it is. It's like 100 and something, but that they fill it in, they pay for it, and that's none of my business when it comes back. This takes a
Christian.
while. This takes a while. So, I wouldn't stop marketing it after they do this, just because somebody, they might come back that they can't take it.
Hey, Christian, so that's Max right there, right? Call the underwriter.
Yeah.
So Max, he told me that you can't legally have them pay for it, that you have to pay for it, but that you can collect it in escrow afterwards or something like that. How do you do it?
Yeah, that's actually that's part of it, right? I have them sign something.
Yeah.
That that they're gonna be paying for it in escrow and stuff like that. I send them an addendum, and then after that, I have them start filling it up. But yeah, and you have to. The key too is you have to have them sign it before. I can share. I don't remember where it's at. But I can share it with you. But because if they don't have it before, there might be an objection that comes up afterwards.
And then like you already paid for it out of your pocket, so you have to be really certain that they are gonna close, or else you can't get that money back.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And I definitely lost money.
You have lost money like that?
Well, yeah, like one or two people that that they said they were ready, and then like he said at the time, where it's like, okay, let's put down the down payment, and then let's put down the EMD and stuff like that. They backed out.
Yeah, so that's the other objection right there, Christian. I have a girl right here in OKC that she just went to go do a YouTube video of one of my properties. She has a waiting list, like for she already knows her market, she already knows her buyers. And I told her that I wanted to do RMLO on qualifying them, and she went over all of this stuff, Max's stuff, and she says, I already know my buyers. They're gonna ask me, if I have to go through all of this right here, why don't I just go to the bank? So,
because they don't really qualify to the bank. If they could go to the bank, they would have gone to the bank already. And we wouldn't be having that conversation, because the bank is probably gonna give them a better rate than I am.
Yeah, but like all of the things that Call the Underwriter is asking for is very similar to what a bank's gonna be requiring too, isn't it?
It is. It's very similar. It's very similar. Yeah, and
you require a lot too, just to lease a property, right? It's just a screen process.
And if like I don't always do it, sometimes what I'll do is I'll run it like a rental, and I'll see if they had any bankruptcies, if they had any evictions and that sort of stuff, and I'll just take them that way. I'll make sure that what is it called? Smart move. This is a good one. So if I'm not gonna use the RMLO, I might go now. There's the benefit of using the RMLO is when you're selling the note, right? But if you're gonna keep it, or you're gonna get the house back, you might, and you're not doing that many wraps. Maybe you're doing 1 or 2 wraps. The first ones might be a good option to do, and just do a background check and make sure they don't have evictions and bankruptcies and that sort of stuff. Like last time, this dude told me, like literally, like, oh, I want to buy it, but I want to file bankruptcy. I was like, yeah, I'm good. But yeah, this is what I'll use a lot of times too, if I'm not gonna use the RMLO. I'll just use a full credit report.
Okay, so you just personally screen them yourself, right?
Yeah.
And then you take your shot on, the risk factor or whatever, what you feel on the ones you vet.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I had good results with this. You know, I really have I haven't had issues. The only issues I had was with that first one. Okay. So yeah, yeah, that's basically, these are the three websites, you know, if you wanna do, if you do wanna screen them. And you're right, like you said, they could go to the bank, and if they can go to the bank, they should be going to the bank anyway. You know, they're not gonna, if they go to the bank, they're gonna probably get a lower down payment than I'm gonna give them. Just off the bat, right? I'm not giving them a 3%. I'm not giving them a 3%. I'm not giving them no government assistance on that 3%, you know, like on that 3% down payment.
Yeah, you have to understand somebody who's in good standing, who has good credit. Typically, when let's say you guys, if you guys are in good standing, good credit, you guys can afford things. You're probably going to pick the car you want with the color you want and the brand you want, right? Same thing with the house. You're probably going to pick the neighborhood, the type of house, and you know the type of renovations it has. You're probably going to pick that, right? So everybody's probably is going to go that route, but it comes down to you can't get approved for the financing because you don't have all the cash. What do? You just continue renting out, or hey, look at there's a car right here. There's a used car dealership that's going to finance me a car that I need for my growing family. I have a 5-seater car, but I have a fourth child and a spouse, so I don't have 6 seats available. This place is willing to finance me at 26.7% interest, though my cousin just got a new car at Ford for 3%. I need to do this though because they're willing to finance me. I'll do it because I need it for my family. Same thing for someone's a house. It's not. I'm not going to come and just pick a house that's overpriced, maybe not even market ready, and have a high interest. It's because you're giving somebody the opportunity is what's happening.
Yeah. And then this one is the other good option that you guys have. This is actually good, one of the best. If you just do this flat listing, you know, it'll go on all the websites. It'll go on the MLS. You will get a bunch of calls from agents though. And if they bring a buyer, you know, they're gonna ask you, hey, can I bring a buyer? Would you, you know, and they're gonna want a fee. So if that's what you want, you know, you could go that route. I I wouldn't give them a percentage, but sometimes I do offer a fee. You know, I'll tell them, hey, I'll give you $5,000 if you bring in the buyer, but it's not gonna be a percentage. But yeah, this is the other good option that you have. There's a lot of websites like this for every state. And if you use the right contract, you should be able to list it, no problem. But yeah, this is basically what I have for the wraps, for finding a wrap buyer.
Sweet, dude. That was a lot of gems, bro. A lot of fire. Let's open it up to Q&A, guys. I know I saw a lot of messages going back and forth, and I know everybody wasn't raising their hands, probably because he was going over some stuff. But now everybody who has questions, right? Christian, you have some time left, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right,
All right.
cool. Cool. You can unshare your screen. You can unshare your screen if you like, man. No worries.
I got one. If you just wouldn't mind expanding a little bit on using the right contract. Well, what did you mean by that?
Well, because I mean, Pace's contract has a clause that you can list it on the MLS. Not every contract has that clause. Not every contract, you know, not every contract gives you that ability. So if that's what you're gonna do, you know, you want to make sure that you're protected because you might not be allowed to do that depending on what your contract says.
Does the same apply for on-market deals?
Yeah.
Is it you can use that
What?
contract, or do you
I'll
just
tell you,
add,
I've never, let me correct this. I actually never gotten a deal off of the MLS and then listed it back on the MLS for a wrap. I've never done that. I don't search for deals on the MLS. So I wouldn't be able to tell you if those car contracts were you're allowed to do or not.
Carlos, do you have any experience on that?
Nope, I do not. I've bought in 2 deals on the MLS, but I kept them as long-term rentals, so I can actually hold some properties for tax incentives.
Ooh,
Wow, somebody's getting their ass kicked. Whoa.
Gosh, I think I just pissed somebody off because I asked about on market deals. I'm sorry, you guys.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
You're gonna kick your ass, man. Cool. Let me go ahead and just take over this hosting again so I can mute people. Let me see. Reclaim host. All right, cool.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's cracking? What's cracking? Who's speaking?
John, what's going on, guys?
What's up, John? You have a question?
Yeah, bro. Quick question, Christian. I see you negotiating a lot of these deals, but I never see any balloons attached to them. How do you negotiate these deals with no balloons?
Pain. You know, and if they want to buy, like, so I've actually had a scenario where, for example, somebody does want to buy another house, and I guess I bring it up first, right? So sometimes, so if somebody says, you know, if I'm still pitching it and building trust, I might tell them, hey, you're forgetting to ask me one question. What happens if you want to buy another house? And then I tell them, you know, that, hey, you know, if I make the payments, and I've actually had a seller call me back before, you know, so I just jump into that third party story. You know, I had a seller come back before that he forgot he sold me the house subject to. He went and he was trying to buy a house, and they told him that, hey, this is actually, you have a house already that you're paying. You know, and he came back, he called me, and he's like, hey man, what's going on? I thought I sold you the house. So he forgot that he sold the subject to. And yeah, and I told him, yeah, man, you sold it like this, you know, all we need to do is I need to talk to your mortgage broker or whoever's going to give you that loan, and I'm going to send them all the statements that I've been making the payment. And, you know, once he sees all those statements, you know, he's going to reduce it from your debt to income ratio. And I send it over to him, and I never heard back from this guy.
Wow,
You
so
know,
that was enough. That worked, and that was
that
good for
work,
them.
yeah.
Okay.
But
Right
I
on.
bring it
So
up.
John, he basically he was saying earlier, I think before you got in here, that he buys a lot of, or he locks up a lot of deals that are going into foreclosure. So it's a little bit easier, right? When someone's in complete pain, for you just to be able to help them out, take over the property, and then ride that whole mortgage. It's very easy
Yeah.
for you to have that conversation. I have three that I got from foreclosures that I was like, basically the only option. When you're like almost the only option, you can kind of like, hey, this is the way I can help you out. You don't need to be rude, but hey, I could catch up the arrears and then write out the mortgage, you know? Yeah, you're cool. So if he's doing that strategy, mainly he's going off after the, you know, subject to deals, and subject to deals, usually there's a lot of pain. And so he doesn't have any balloons, you know, which is really good for himself and, you know, helping other families out getting out. It's
Yeah,
really
'cause
fucking
from
good for
what
any
I've
investor
seen,
to have no balloon.
yeah, because from what I've seen, a lot of the major buyers get really pushed out when there's a balloon involved.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they tend to stay away from that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I stay away from it.
Yeah, he does. I have a couple balloons in mine, a couple of my deals. All right, so who has another question? Twinny, you do, and then I seen a whole bunch of people. I'm not in the side chat. If you guys had questions, go ahead and raise your hand, please, and we'll answer these.
Yeah, you know what? I was gonna go, but I see Raymond's had his hand up for a while, so I'm gonna let him go first.
I think Raymond had already went, so you're good, Twinny.
Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, so one of the questions that I had was really about getting a list set aside for people who are actually looking to get into it. I know you touched on the brokers and stuff like that. Me, I'm an innovator, so I love really creating things. And so I had a way where I was doing that by QR code, where people would just scan a QR code and they can be added to my list if they were looking for stuff. Do you find that it's probably better to actually speak to the people or simplify the process, automate it as best as possible to keep going?
Well, there's one thing with the QR code, right? And I thought about that before, but for you to do the QR code, for example, you can't just screenshot it and go to the link, right? The QR code has to be kind of in your computer, and then you have to get your phone and go BAP. So if they're on their phone.
Yeah, and I get that. And some QR codes are like that, but sometimes some of them you can actually do a screenshot on your own screen and it'll read it, but not everybody knows that. So I get where you're coming from.
Yeah. So what I
But
do is I go back
Mhm.
and forth with them a little bit, right? And
Mhm.
when I see that they're a good prospect, what I do is I tell them, hey, go ahead and sign up to my Google link. And when I'm ready to
Okay.
show the house, I'm gonna call you and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you an appointment so we can go see it. And then I give
Okay.
them I give them a link. I don't have the QR code. I haven't had to, I guess maybe that was me. I don't know how to do that with my QR code. So I was like, no, this is not gonna work. So instead I did the link and I would send out the links, but not yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, and I know this may not be your practice, but if you ever decided to get into the QR codes, let me know because I can innovate that into your business for you. Then that way, if you do, then you can move through the QR codes. I love doing stuff like that.
Okay, cool. Cool.
Sweet. Thanks, 20.
Yeah, and obviously, I just want to make sure that you know this. Obviously, I wouldn't charge because I help as many people as I possibly can with that kind of stuff. It's not very difficult. It's just about getting people to understand how it links, and then once they figure that out, they can do it on their own.
Cool. Thank you, man.
Yeah, he'll
Yep.
give out his information here right before he exits. He'll give out how to contact him and things like that. Yoli, what's up, Yoli?
Hola, ¿qué pasó, Carlito? ¿Cómo está?
Muy bien, usted? How are you?
Muy bien. Sorry, have not been active with the group. I've been doing the challenge. I've been doing on-market offers.
There it is. There you go. Good stuff. It's okay. Just keep doing your stuff and get some deals done. You're doing well.
Yes. I do have a question. A lot of these homes that I'm looking at, they've been on the market forever. Their auction dates are coming up. Now, a lot of them, mostly every one of them do have equity in them, a lot of equity. So I really didn't understand. I offer them the subject to, the ones that don't want to do the subject to, of course, will offer cash. But if they do subject to, what about that equity? How do I structure it? And like, is it based on 30 years with the 7-year balloon or?
So when I go for the subject twos personally, let me tell you what I like to do. I like, especially even if it's going to auction, right? People are gonna people they're gonna everybody that offers cash is gonna offer up to a certain amount. Okay? Meaning, okay, if let's say the cash offers are gonna be at 500, right? Maybe there's gonna be that cash buyer that pays 510, 520, 500, but that's it, right? That's the range. Right? That's as much as people are gonna be able to pay and put some money into it and flip it, right? So I'm kind of confident on that number a lot of times where I'm like, okay, there's no way a flipper could pay, let's say it's 500 and they owe 530, right? And I know that the flipper's not gonna go up that high. Those are really the ones I'm going for, right? Because I know like no flipper is gonna pay up that high. And then, okay, what are their options from there? Right? And if they don't have many options for there, why would I pay if they think they have 100,000 in equity, if they think they have 70,000 of equity, why don't they have, and it's listed, why haven't they gotten it already? Why didn't somebody get a loan and made them an offer? Because maybe it's not really that where it's at right now in the market. So in that situation, I don't even go for offering them full market value. I might offer them, $20,000, $15,000 after the amount that they owe. Just because I know that, okay, look, no cash offer is gonna save you. This is the option right here. Bam, I'll give you $15,000 and then I'll take over the debt. Especially if it's gonna go to auction. Because then you could offer, you could say, okay, I'll give you $15,000 and you think you have $50,000 in equity. So I'm gonna make you payments of this much. You could do that, but I never negotiate myself that way. If I know that the cash buyers are gonna come at this price, I'm gonna just offer $10,000 above their loan if I don't think that is enough for a cash buyer to come buy them out, if that makes sense. So that's why I'm negotiating a lot of these deals where I might buy it for 300 and then I go ahead and turn around and hotel it, right? Because I just pay them a little difference and then I took the time to, with the listing, I made the payments every month and that's how, I took it, to sell for market value. But really that's what happens. A lot of people don't, a lot of those people a lot of those people, if it's going to auction and it's really getting close, they're asking too much, and sometimes what I've seen too, some agents are like foreclosure specialists and they're still gonna do something with it after. They might work with the bank, they might work, they might short sell it or something. So sometimes they even put the roadblock like, look, I'm not gonna, take a lesser commission because I know that if it forecloses, I'm gonna work with the bank and I'm gonna list it for the bank and I'm still gonna make X amount. I've seen that. I've seen that where the agents actually take it that far.
Okay, see, I'm listening to what you're saying, but what I'm looking at are all these homes right now. The list that I'm looking at, all these homes have a lot of equity, almost 50%, 40%, but they're behind. They're not behind a lot, maybe 20,000, 30,000, but they're still behind. They have no money. They have no options. That's it. That they're going to lose it. So I'm offering to take it down, subject to, or cash. Cash, of course, takes out the equity. But my question is, if I do take it over subject to, what happens to that 300, 400,000 equity?
You
Do I
have to
do a
pay it.
seller carry?
Yeah, they have to do a seller carry. Yeah.
Yeah, but for how many years then? What the interest rate? That's my question.
That's whatever you can negotiate.
Okay.
Well,
It
I
could be
think
0%, it could be 1%, it could be 3%. That portion becomes whatever you can negotiate, and that is based on your exit strategy also. Because if you want to sell it to an investor, you want to make sure your payment can be higher where you can't cash flow. If you're gonna sell it on a wrap, you have to see where the wrap buyer is gonna come and make that payment.
Okay.
But that depends on the amount that you're gonna give them depends on the exit strategy. So for me,
Okay,
I'd be
yo-
looking.
No, go ahead, because I had some. I think Yoli, were you asking like if you just bought it sub 2, like let's say they owe 200,000, but the house is worth 500,000, but they weren't asking for 500. They just said, yes, pay the 20,000 and you could have it for 200. Are you asking like what happens to the other $300,000?
Exactly.
That would be your decision. So I think Christian I was a little confused at first too. So so you're just buying it sub 2 and you have that's actually your decision because you're the
Then
owner
you got
now.
a good deal.
Yeah, you just got a great deal. You can turn around and list it. You get what I'm saying?
Okay,
Or market it to a cash buyer for a lot of money, whatever you want to do. But
Send it to me.
sell it to Christian.
okay,
Yeah. So
okay.
like
Yeah,
if
if you
you were to
find
buy it
something
sub
like that,
2,
call me.
Okay,
yeah.
so are you I'm sorry. So are you saying don't even mention a seller carry if they're gonna
Yeah.
lose it?
If they're willing, so
I wouldn't.
subject to just means debt. That means, hey, I'm just taking over your debt. A hybrid or a seller finance it's all capital, it's all gains for them. There's no debt. It's free and clear.
Yes,
They create the debt.
right.
When a hybrid
Yes.
is a little both, right? Or depending on where it's at. But a subject to is straight just mortgage. So if their house is worth 500, but they're selling to you sub 2 and they only owe 150, you're buying it for 150 is what you're doing.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, well, you just got a fucking screaming deal in those ones. And then what you do is you can sell them on the market. You can call Christian, he'll buy them from you, things like that, right? You have the decision to make because you're the owner now. And now that equity is yours.
So I do not offer them a seller carry on their equity. Is that what you're saying?
You can, but it's like me. It's like imagine I go to Ralph's and they're like, "Hey, these are today. These are normally $2. These are $1." And I go to Ralph's and I grab it and I'm like, "No, I'm gonna give you $2 anyway." They're giving you a deal. You should take the deal. You could offer it to them, but why would you? I wouldn't.
Okay. See, I'm
So Yoli, if Are you there?
so
Yoli. So if the homeowner asks for 500,000, then yes, you would have to structure it where you buy it sub 2 and then, hey, how many years can I pay you on the 300,000 and how much more money can I pay you, or can I pay you? Do I have to pay you any money while I have this, right? If you're buying it sub 2, you're not buying it for what it's actually worth. You're buying it for what the debt is. So if there's an actual after repair or market value that's a lot higher than the debt, all you're doing is negotiating the debt. That's all you're doing. You're just buying the actual debt. That person's in pain. Otherwise, they would sell it to you for 500 grand. I think maybe she had tuned out.
I'm
Maybe.
sorry, this computer, this Wi-Fi is crap. So my main question is, if they do have equity, I can then just offer a seller carry with maybe a 7-year balloon, something like that.
Yeah, just negotiate and trying to give a balloon, but if you have to, you can.
Okay, or not, right? Or not, just every
Right.
month you're just gonna get payments. Every month I'm making the house payment and then I'm gonna pay you on the seller carry. So don't even ask for a wrap, just say every month as long as we're paying this mortgage.
Yeah, so let's say that you got that done and you want your goal is to turn around and wrap it. You would wrap it exactly how you would market it. Once you secure the deal, you would start marketing it just like how Christian went over in today's Zoom, how to find the wrap buyers and all the ways that he can find them. You would start doing that. Then once you found that wrap buyer, he shows you, hey, how to vet them, screen them, or use an RMLO. After, depending in the market you're in, I believe after you own after a few wraps or whatever, you have to use RMLO. And I think too, like I was reading actually to confirm it. I think that in the Frank Dodd Act too, what is it right here? You can only have, Michael says, 3 wraps per LLC per Dodd-Frank. So those things are there. So hopefully that answered your question, Yoli, and then we'll get into this next question, and then Christian, we can cut you loose, man. Did a great job. Who is the next person who's raising the hand? It just says Zoom user.
That's me. This is Esteban, San Diego. I had a question for my question was what average interest rate are you selling your wraps on, and terms, are you doing like a 15, 20, or just whatever makes sense for it to cash flow?
I'm doing 7%.
7%.
And this one in Apple Valley, I actually ended up doing 5%. But the reason I did 5% is because I really wanted the down payment, a big down payment. So what I put there is that if they gave me 25% down, I'll give them a rate of 5%. But my original rate was 2 point something. So I was
Sorry,
still gonna.
guys, I was just kicked out. I'm sorry. I was just kicked out. I got back on. I'm sorry. Were you saying that's really my only question that I kind of had, but if it's seller carry, I just pretty much every month just give them X amount of dollars, whatever we agreed on, right?
Yeah, Yoli, I'll get with you after this so I can break that down. We have somebody else asking a question real quick, but yeah, I'll answer that because that's a simple question. It's not really about wraps at that point. It's just more about acquisitions and structures and stuff. But I'll get with you after, okay, Yoli?
Okay, sweetie, thank you.
No problem.
Gracias, señor Hernandez. Gracias.
Thank you.
Okay. Sorry, Esteban. But
No worries. Well, thanks for that info. Just curious, what's your buy box? I'm working on some wraps.
And you know what?
San Bernardino County.
There's some people I've seen up to 11%.
Oh wow.
I've seen 11%. I some of those foreclosures that I'm talking about that I target, sometimes they're exactly getting foreclosed on because they bought like a 5-year balloon, or an 8-year balloon, and at 11%. So it really depends, it really what that depends on is like, how long are you willing to wait for your buyer, right? Like Carlos was mentioning, like he has one and he's willing to wait. So he's been holding out for 3 months, and eventually, right, you get like, oh, I don't know, maybe
Yeah.
I'm overstepping on it, but I've seen guys wait like that long and get it. So
Wow. Okay. Thank you for that. Just curious, what's your buy box and your ideal entry price?
I'm kind of spoiled because all the ones I've been buying, I've been getting them like 10,000, 15,000 down in Texas and stuff like that. So I really haven't been buying deals off people. I've just been buying the deals that I get and
Gotcha.
wholesaling everything, everything else like cash deals. I just wholesale them out.
Okay. Okay. Makes sense.
Cool.
Cool. That answer your question, Esteban?
Yeah, that answers pretty much everything. Yeah.
Cool, man. Do me a favor and put your name in where it says Zoom user on your Zoom. Just put your name and like your phone number or something so we know who you are.
Gotcha.
Cool. Damien, what's cracking? You'll be the last question and then we'll cut this loose. Okay.
Appreciate it.
What's up, my
and I
man?
appreciate you guys for putting this on. It's really been good information.
Absolutely.
My two questions I had was just how to protection for yourself as far as like with your buyers. Like what kind of thing, or I guess contracts or things that do you put in place to protect yourself just in case they do default, like year 2 or something like that?
Well, you still do that's why one of the things I said, you should be selling it on a deed, on a contract for deed.
Mm-hmm.
Because what's that?
I'm in Texas.
Oh yeah, then
Yeah.
I mean, they just have to sign all the disclosures and everything else, and maybe a deed in lieu of foreclosure. You could get one of them, and make sure that they always sign it. Make sure that I would even send my contract to them so that they notarize it. Just so that they can't say, "Oh, I didn't know." But most of the attorneys I've seen in Texas, they send a pretty good set of disclosures and that sort of stuff for both the buyers and the sellers, and you can't get away from not doing them. I've seen people in California and other states not be so firm with it, but every person I've used for Texas, they always have a solid, list of disclosures for both the sellers and the buyers, so that helps.
Okay. And like as far as like anybody coming to you as far as like predatorial, I guess that's what the RMLO and everything's for. So you don't have to worry about that. Okay, cool.
Exactly.
All right, cool. And then the other one was with the down payment, because I know you talked about one of your first ones talking about like he tried to put partial down payment up front and then like he's gonna take care of the rest later on. Do you like not accept partial down payment at all? Or do you like kind of put it into like the monthly cash flow to kind of make it make sense more? Or
So I would take a lower down payment for a higher payment depending on the deal. Like usually I'm not that firm on the down payment if they can make a higher monthly payment,
yeah.
Because for me, the wraps, I like them for the cash flow. When I do the wrap, I'm not thinking, oh, I'm gonna get a huge chunk of money. I'm really thinking about the cash flow. So if they offer that, or if they tell me that, I might offer that to them. Okay, so what if I gave you that, lower down payment, let's say $5,000 less, and I increase your payment by, X amount.
Yeah. Yeah, because a lot of times I'm finding they can do like monthly payments, just the down payment right then and there they can't really do. So, okay, cool. I appreciate
But
it.
I wouldn't waive it too much. Like I wouldn't be like, okay, if I'm asking for 40, I'm not gonna take 15.
Yeah.
I might take 30, but not, but not 15, not 10, not 5.
Yeah, it gotta make sense. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay,
8
cool.
to
I
10%
appreciate
should
it.
be good. Yeah.
10%.
8 to 10 is good. Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate you guys.
Cool. Anybody
Absolutely.
else? Okay.
Everybody good? Okay, cool, guys. Well, hey, Christian, thank you so much for jumping in here, man. I really appreciate it. I'm glad that I got to learn some stuff. I'm sure everybody else out here learned a lot. But yeah, man, I just want to say thank you so much for your time. Appreciate
Is
it.
there
guys.
a
Link for the document that you were gonna share?
I'll share. I'm gonna share on the post for Carlos group.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Christian.
No
Sweet.
problem.
And Christian, best way to get a hold of you, social media, if you want to put in your side chat or verbalize it right now so everybody can get a hold of you if they want to work on some deals with you. This guy's a great closer. He's another one that I could say that is an actual great closer. So if you need help closing deals, want to do some raps with this guy, you need some help on market deals, this guy's doing it all. He's in a couple markets. So reach out to him and squat up with him and get some money, guys.
Okay. Oh yeah, Senor Hernandez, did you say you're in San Bernardino?
I'm in Fullerton.
And where?
Fullerton.
Oh, Fullerton. Okay. Okay. So actually, if I get some deals, right now I'm focusing on homes with auction dates. Would you be a buyer for cash or just creative?
Yeah. I could probably help you a little more than you think on those auctions. Give me a call afterwards. I'm gonna drop my number in the chat.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Gracias.
Okay. You guys have a good one.
All right. Thank you,
God
man.
bless you guys. Bye,
Take it
everybody.
easy, guys. Powerhouse out. Bang, bang. She shot me down. Bang, bang. Much love,
This
everybody.
Bye, Carlitos. I love it.
Yeah. Love you guys. Thank you guys so much for coming in. Go ahead and give a shout out to Christian, say what's up to him, and get some deals done with him.
Yo, Carlos.
Bye, everybody.
What's
We
cracking?
don't
man?
got nothing
Bye.
going on.
Bless you guys.
We don't have our
Let's
typical
get
5
it.
o'clock today, do we?
I'm about to roll into it. I'm about to hit the restroom, grab some water, and then just jump into some calls. I have a couple calls I need to make up anyway. So
Should I just stay on here?
Gonna jump
Oh,
into
to
the
the
other
other
Zoom. Yeah.
All right, got you. All right.
Did Senor Hernandez drop his number here at the chat here?
Yeah. 949-315-9504.
Wait just a minute. 949
315
315.
9504. Christian Hernandez.
Okay, muchas gracias, Carlito. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys the next time.
All right. All right. Much love, guys.
I'll get with you later on those questions. Thank you.
Okay. Get with me. All right. Yep.
Okay, bye.
Bye, guys.